Good day, learners! Welcome to our English class. I'm so happy to be with you again to discuss another lesson for Module 5, Quarter 3. Please make yourselves comfortable and don't forget to prepare your Module 5 pen and notebook where you can jot down notes. Today, we're going to learn the elements of a literary text. Are you ready now? To begin our learning journey, please open your module on page 1. Literary elements are the necessary components of writing, and they play an essential role in helping us read, write, and understand literature. Understanding literary elements will improve your comprehension skills within and across text. It allows you to organize your thoughts and skillfully put together your own story's different threads. This lesson will help you understand the elements of a literary text to develop your reading comprehension skills. After this video lesson, you're expected to define the different elements of a literary text and identify the elements of a literary text. I want to know how much knowledge you have about the lesson that we're going to learn today. So I want you to answer the 5 questions in What I Know. Directions. Choose the letter of the best answer. For number 1, what is the name of the time and place during which the story occurs? The correct answer is setting. How about number 2? The organized pattern or sequence of events in a story is called what? And the correct answer is plot. Number 3. The following are examples of setting except one. Which one is it? The correct answer is letter B, a beautiful princess. Number 4. Which of the following is not an element of a narrative text? Okay, the correct answer is letter C, simile. And the last, number 5, which of the following is not an example of a character? The correct answer is letter D, under the sea. Okay, great. In our previous lesson, we have discussed distinguishing text types according to purpose and features. And now, we will discuss the elements of a literary text. There are 4 that we're going to tackle. They are the characters, setting, plot, and theme. Do you still remember how to distinguish text types according to purpose and features? Let's answer the review questions. You're going to identify what text type are the following paragraphs. For number 1, what is the correct answer? The correct answer is cause and effect. Now this paragraph is telling us what's the effect when the plates rub against each other. So what's the effect when the plates rub against each other? There is earthquake. For number 2, what is your answer? Yes, problem, solution. So what's the problem? Earthquake again. And they're finding some solution for this earthquake that happens in their country. This time, we will be reading the story about the ant and the grasshopper. I want you to listen to me while looking at your module. In a field one summer's day, a grasshopper was hopping about, chirping and singing. An ant passed by carrying an ear of corn. It was a very heavy load, but he did not stop. He was taking the corn to his nest. "Why not come and play with me?" said the grasshopper. "The day is too nice to be working hard." "I am helping to lay up food for the winter," said the ant. "I think you should be doing the same." "Why worry about the winter?" the grasshopper said. "We have plenty of food now." The ant was tired from his work, and he thought it would be fun to join the grasshopper. But he went on his way and went on working until he had filled his nest with corn. Winter came, as it always does, and the grasshopper has no more food to eat. He was dying of hunger, while the ants were eating every day from the corn they had stored away. The grasshopper knew that it is best to prepare for the days ahead. And now let's answer the questions below. Number 1. Who are the characters in the story? Correct. The characters in the story are the ant and the grasshopper. Number 2. When and where did the story happen? The story happened in a field one summer day. Great. Number 3. What are the important events that happen in the story? Let's try to identify from the first event to the next, then to the last event. Now, what's the first that happened? Okay, first, a grasshopper was happy about chirping and singing. And then, an ant passed by carrying an ear of corn. And what's the third? Winter came, as it always does, and the grasshopper had no more food to eat. He was dying of hunger, while the ants were eating every day from the corn they had stored away. Very good. Number 4. What is the moral of the story? Yes, it is best to prepare for the days ahead. Good job, children. Now, all the answers to the 4 questions that we had a while ago give the elements of a literary text. Now, what is a literary text? A literary text is a narrative piece or that tells a story and contains elements of fiction. So remember, fiction is only coming from the imagination of the writer. So it's not true. Some good examples of literary texts include novels, short stories, or poetry that tell a story or entertaining. Its primary function as a text is usually aesthetic, but it may also contain political messages or beliefs. These are the 4 essential elements of literary text. Number 1, characters. Characters are the people, animals, or objects who take part in the action of a story. For example, in the story that we have just read, the characters are the ant and the grasshopper. Number 2, the setting. It is the time and place in which the events of a story happen. For example, one summer's day in the field. Number 3, the plot. The plot is a sequence of events in a story, including a problem and a solution. So it has the beginning, the middle, and the ending event. And the 4th, the theme. The theme is the central message or moral lesson that the author is trying to send through the use of a story. Now, in the story about the ant and the grasshopper, the moral lesson that we can use in our daily lives is save for rainy days, or work hard and be prepared. For activity 1, directions. Read the selection below, then answer the questions about literary elements. Please don't forget the 4 elements of literary text: the characters, the setting, the plot, and the theme. Now, what's the title of the story? Yes, A Fox and a Crow. Let's read now. Once upon a time, there was a fox living in the forest. One day he came out and sat under a tree which a crow was perching on. The fox wanted to eat her, so he said to the crow, "You are the loveliest bird I have ever seen. You have the smoothest and brightest feathers in the world and the sharpest beak I have ever seen in my life. If you sing, perhaps your voice is as sharp as a cicada. You must be the queen of all birds." The crow heard the fox admiring her. She was very happy and descended quickly from the tree. Suddenly, the fox caught her before she touched the ground. What a pity! The crow was eaten by the fox. Now let's answer the questions. Number 1. Who are the characters in the story? The correct answer is letter D, the fox and the crow. Number 2. Where is the setting of the story? Very good. The correct answer is letter A. Number 3. Which of the following is an example of a plot? Great! Letter C. The fox wanted to eat the crow. Number 4. What is the possible theme of the story? Fantastic! Letter B. Never fall for flattering words. For activity 2, directions. Complete the table by identifying literary text elements in the right column regarding characters, setting, plot, and theme. Example, Peter. So it's character. So number 1, Goldilocks. What's the answer? Yes, character. Number 2, Deep Under the Sea. So it is setting. Number 3, Life is full of surprises. It's a theme. Number 4, He broke his mom's favorite vase. It's a plot. Number 5, An evil king. Okay, it's character. Number 6, In the deep dark forest. Yes, it is setting. Number 7, On a sunny summer day in June. Correct, setting. Number 8, In real friendship, there is no such thing as jealousy. Yes, theme. Number 9, A kind-hearted old woman. Okay, it's character. And the last, number 10. She ran as fast as she could and made it to school in time. The correct answer is plot. Good job, children! For activity 3, directions. Read each selection in the box and answer the questions that follow. Just encircle the letter of the correct answer. For number 1, what is the setting of the story? Yes, the correct answer is letter A, beach resort. For items number 2 to number 5, read the paragraph. The night was clear, and the full moon seemed to smile down on the new home of the Carson's family who had just moved into the neighborhood. On the back porch, little Sarah cried quietly because her new pet puppy refused to sleep in Sarah's pretty pink room. Sarah wondered how she could convince the puppy to change its mind. Sarah's brother Nicholas was in the kitchen, quietly snacking on cake from the welcome party the neighbors had for the new family in town. He thought about the boy across the street. Maybe he'd asked the boy to play soccer tomorrow. How lucky they all felt that day. Number 2. What elements are present in the story? The correct answer is letter B. Number 3. The characters of the story are... Okay, the correct answer is letter D. Carson family, neighbors, boy, and the puppy. Number 4. What is the setting of the story? Yes, letter D. Very good. And number 5. A possible theme is... Yes, letter C. Changes help people learn and grow. For activity 4, directions. Read each word or phrase in the box. Complete the table below by writing each word or phrase under the correct heading. Now for number 1, or the first word inside the box. It's Peter. Yes, it's character. Next, October 31st. Very good, it's setting. The third, brother and sister. Yes, it's character again. Be kind to the needy. Great, it's theme. And next, Sarah, Anna, and Marie. Correct, characters. How about in a faraway kingdom? Very good, it is setting. Next, their kite got stuck in a tree. So it's plot, correct. A castle high in the mountains. Good job, it's setting. Next, take responsibility for your actions. Yes, it's theme. And the last, the big bad wolf blew their house down. Very good, it's plot. Good job, children. Now let's answer the 3 questions on page 6. Number 1. What is a literary text? Yes, a literary text is a narrative piece that tells a story and contains elements of fiction. Number 2. What are the 4 essential elements of literary text? Define each. Alright, the 4 essential elements of the literary text are: number 1, the characters. These are the people, animals, or objects who take part in the action of a story. Next is the setting. The setting is the time and place in which the events of the story happen. The third is the plot. The plot is a sequence of events in a story, including a problem and a solution. And the fourth is the theme. It is the central message or moral lesson that the author is trying to send through the use of a story. Very good. Now let's have number 3 questions, or the third question. What are some examples of literary text? So some examples of literary text are the stories that we have just read, like The Fox and the Crow, The Ant and the Grasshopper, and many more. So do you understand now what are the elements of a literary text? Very good. Good job, children. Okay, to check if you really understood our lesson for today, we're going to answer the last activity before the assessment. So directions. Read the given story and fill in the story map with the story's elements. You can use another sheet of paper if needed. So what's the title of the story? The Golden Fish Acts Wisely by L.M. Gass. Let's read this. Upon a certain island in the middle of the sea lived a fisherman and his wife. They were so poor, they often went without bread when the fishing did not go well. One day, the man caught a small golden fish who begged to be let go. Because the man did let him go, the little fish promised that he would come back if the fisherman ever needed help. The man said that he and his wife had no food, and when the man returned home, there was a nice meal on the table. But the fisherman's wife was greedy. After she ate the nice meal, she went to bed planning what they should demand from the golden fish next. She woke up early the next morning and shook her husband awake. "Wake up, you lazy man! Go and tell your fish that I need a new washtub." So he went and called to the golden fish again, and when he returned home, there was a beautiful new washtub in the yard. Each day the fisherman's wife had a new demand, and each one was granted. The fisherman's wife got a big new house, beautiful new clothes, servants to do her work, and a horse-drawn carriage to ride in. But the fisherman did not enjoy the new things, and he was ashamed of his greedy wife. She was rude to the servants, and she was too busy thinking up new demands to speak to her husband. Once again she demanded that he call the golden fish. She wanted to be queen of the waters. "Make your wife queen of the waters?" exclaimed the golden fish. "That is the last thing I should do. She is unfit to rule. She cannot even rule herself. I shall make her a poor woman again. Goodbye. You will see me no more." With great sorrow and dread, the fisherman went home to tell his wife the news. To his surprise, the big house had been transformed into their little old cabin, and his wife was clothed in rags. Life was much easier for the fisherman after that. His wife had learned the results of greed. She planted a little garden to provide food when the fishing did not go well. Sometimes, when the fisherman drew in his line, the sun glinted on the scales of his catch, and he had a moment's hope of seeing his little friend again, but that was never come to pass. Now you're going to answer the story map. You're going to write what is the setting, the characters, and for the plot you have to write the beginning, middle, and ending event. And the last is the theme. So the moral lesson that we can learn or that we learn from the story about the golden fish acts wisely. Okay. And to check if you really understood our discussion this day, you're going to answer the 10 questions in assessment. You're going to encircle directly the letter of the correct answer. So with number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, just encircle directly the letter of the correct answer. So that ends our lesson for today, children. I hope you learned something from this video. Thank you so much for listening.